Hello and welcome to Michelle's Sews again. I'm Michelle. I am bringing you a really quick video today, and my goal is to share with you my experience with the Sherazade dress pattern from I Am Patterns. So in my Friday Sews blog 2 days ago, I asked for input on which of 3 patterns you thought I should sew next. And I was eager to get sewing yesterday, and I had a handful of votes, and all of them were for the Sherazade dress. So I traced it out and cut it out and sewed it up all yesterday. So I spent the day working on that. It's a, pretty quick, straightforward sew. I did have one stumbling block that I'll share with you in a minute, but let me tell you a little bit about the pattern. So this is a pattern from I Am Patterns, which is I believe it's a French company. When I am ready to make a pattern, I spend a lot of time scrolling through Instagram just to get inspiration and see what looks good, what doesn't. And I probably 98% of the Instagram posts that I saw were from French women. So this isn't a pattern that seems to have made it to English-speaking countries just yet, not in a big way. And I think it's a beautiful pattern, and I would love to see it get some more love. So again, it's called the Sherazade. It's a very loose-fitting dress. It's almost like a baby doll style, just based on the way that it's cut. And it's kind of short. So, at least for me, it's short. It comes in sizes 34 to 52, which translates to bust sizes 30 3/4 to 44 7/8. Now, if I just went by that, I wouldn't have bought the pattern, and I wouldn't have made the pattern because I have a bust size of 51.5. However, the finished garment size, the finished garment measurements were 39 to 53 1/8. So this dress actually has quite a bit of ease. It's 8 1/4 inches. And so I figured the 53 1/8, so the largest size 52, would give me enough ease that I would be comfortable in it. And I was right. I am happy with the general fit. The fabric requirements are 2 5/8 yard to 3.5 yards, depending on what width your fabric is, what size your pattern is. The only thing that now that I'm spoiled from the April dress, where she gave me the fabric requirements if I wanted to color block, they tout, one of the things that they are very proud of with this pattern is the color blocking options, and how you can do, each shoulder different from the bodice. So you can do 3, or you can do all 8 panels in separate fabrics. Not only colors, but they're even claiming separate fabrics would work together, but they don't give you separate fabric requirements for each piece. Now, I ended up using some scrap pieces for the shoulder and a new fabric for the skirt, but that was the one drawback from the instruction section that I found, is that there was no breakdown for the pattern pieces for fabric requirements. The recommended fabrics are a medium weight woven that has nice drape, and I would agree with that. You don't want anything that's too stiff, because the flowiness of the gathered skirt is part of the charm of the dress. So like I said, I made a size 52 based on my bust measurement and the finished garment measurements. And I'm really happy generally with the fit. So as I'm working through and growing in my sewing journey, I have all these little steps where I figure out, okay, it's time for you to learn that next thing. And for me, it's how to make adjustments to patterns. So I might have graded, I might have added length to a pattern here and there, added length to a pattern piece here or there, but I haven't done any grading, and I haven't done any I haven't done any fit adjustments at all, other than adding length for like a top that was just a little bit too short for me, for my liking. So this dress came out so freaking cute. I am 99% happy with it. However, it definitely highlighted that it's time for me to start learning. Now this one didn't have bust darts, so really a full bust adjustment might not be the right term, but the way that the dress hat comes to a point and the bodice pieces go down, mine hit, even when I'm wearing a bra and lifting the girls up, it didn't hit below my bust line. And whether it's intended to or not, that's what my preference would have been. So I wish that I would have taken the time. Well, I can do it for my next one, and this dress is cute enough that I'm still gonna wear it. In fact, I wore it out to dinner last night. We went out and had a nice meal. Since we've been so strict in our eating for the last 4 weeks, we've been doing pretty well. We decided to go out and have a really, and we've been out to eat while we're eating healthy, and we've made healthy choices when we went out to eat. Last night we decided, let's just have a meal that we're really gonna enjoy. So we did that. And I wore my cute dress, and I looked cute. So I will continue to wear it, but there are just some things like the bodice piece I would lower to accommodate the girls. And then I'm learning that I can't just hem, assuming that the bottom is even. So even if the bottom is even, my front side takes up more fabric than my back side because of my bust. So my husband has noticed it on 2 dresses now, where my front hem is shorter than my back hem. Now luckily, high-low hems are in, but it's just not what I would prefer in this dress, especially given how short it is. So I would A, lengthen the skirt, and B, I need to learn how to do a proper hem on a dress for my body. So it might be time for me to make one of those custom forms, bust forms. And I've seen people use like the duct tape method and then stuff it up. I don't know. I need to do some research there, or maybe just try it on and have my husband help me, because obviously I wouldn't be able to do markings on my own. So that's what I've learned from this, is it's time for me to take the next step in my sewing journey. From a construction perspective of this dress, it was super simple. I did struggle with the neck facing, and in hindsight, I think I was just had a different expectation. So when you lay the dress out, because you're putting the neck facing in before you do the side seams, so you can lay the piece out flat, and the neck shape is a triangle, a diamond shape, not triangle, a diamond shape. And the neck facing, I was expecting, so the shoulder pieces matched up perfectly. The neck and back pieces, the facing, the point of the facing after having sewn it together was shorter than the points on the actual garment. And so I thought I screwed something up on the facing, but I went back to my pattern piece. My pattern piece was traced out correctly, the right size. I sewed up the facings the right size. So I'm like, there's gotta be something wrong with the facing. I ended up clipping back so that the opening matched up with the opening, but I don't think in hindsight, I don't think I needed to. I think I just needed to sew to the opening on the dress on the facing, and then clip the sewn piece on the facing, if that makes sense. So I think I overcomplicated it for myself. Ultimately, I got there, and it's the cleanest V-neck that I personally have ever made. So even with the struggle, and that was my only struggle, the rest of the dress sewed up like a dream. Even with that one struggle, like I am super happy with the construction, other than for the most part, like the hem to me wasn't really obvious. My husband's like, he notices the littlest things. The hem wasn't a big problem for me other than the length. I prefer for things to hit me right below my knee. This hit me right above my knee. Yeah, I'm really happy with this and I highly recommend it. I am 100% making another one for myself, and I am still planning on making this for my sister and using the scraps from my dad's shirts to make like a patchwork fabric to use for the bodice, or I call it the shoulders, but it's actually supposed to be a bodice, and making that for her. So that was my quick review of the Sherazade I Am Patterns pattern. And yeah, I recommend it. I think it was an easy make. I would love to see more of these. I'd love to see what people do with it. I don't think I said, if you couldn't already tell, I used for the shoulders or the bodice, I used scraps that were left over from the linen that I used for my April dress. So it was a pink and an orange. And then I used for the skirt, I used my fun new fabric that I got from my Thread Crate subscription. That does come with a pattern. It's a pretty off the shoulder top pattern. I'm not gonna make that. So I figured I would use the fabric for something that I would get more enjoyment out of. And I still have a ton left. I got over 3 yards of that fabric, and I'm not sure how much I used. So I'm not sure how much I have left, but I definitely have enough left over to do something else with. So yeah, so that was my Sherazade dress. I hope you enjoy it. Throughout the video, I'm sure I've inserted pictures, maybe even a video, because it's also going to be my Me Made May, day 16? Yeah, day 16 contribution on my Instagram. So this will go up the same day as the post goes up on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that wherever you are, it's a beautiful day and that you're gonna get lots of sewing in. And thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Bye.